So just a few notes on this very briefly. Typically, the deuce of clubs and the deuce of hearts are taken out. They're not played in the four-man game. There are a couple modes where they are played. We'll talk about those in a second. The deuce of spades and the deuce of diamonds are left in. Usually the deuce of spades is a third joker, meaning that it is not bigger than the real jokers. The big joker and the little joker will both take the deuce of spades, but the deuce of spades is higher than the ace. And again, if you go to the settings menu, you can turn that off. The deuce of diamonds is sometimes played as a joker, and if it is played as a joker, it's usually higher than the deuce of spades. By default, the deuce of diamonds is not a joker in jSpades. There's also, like I said before, the big joker and little joker. In this case, they were just written on the cards. So, one note about how the score works. You see at the bottom here, our team has bid 5. We have 1 book so far. We have to get 5 or we get shot. If we get shot, that means we lose 5 points or 50 points. Usually people play, by 10. So if they bid 5, they get 50. If they make it, if they don't make it, they lose 50. This game does not count what's called overbooks. Overbooks means, okay, I bid 5, let's say I get 6. I got 1 overbook. Some people will say, okay, it means you got 51 points. jSpades does not count those overbooks. If you want to know why, watch jSpades specific video. But just note that in jSpades, it does count against your score if you consistently underbid, or if you underbid by too much. Part of the strategy is knowing how to bid. The game is over when somebody reaches the final score, the maximum score. In this case, our team has 7 points, or 70 if you're playing on paper with people you normally would play by 10s. I think right now the default is 150, so the first team that get to 150 or 15 in this one would actually win the game. So if we were actually to get our 5 books on this one, we would have a total of 12. We would probably need 1 hand. But notice our opponents have 6 already and they bid 7. So if they get their 7, they would have 13. So they would be ahead of us. We'd have to work on that last hand to get our final score. And the last thing, really quickly, is the different modes on the game. Actually, before I do that, I just want to go into settings real quick so you can see some of the settings. You can change board. Board is the minimum amount of books that your team can bid, or if it's a solo game, the minimum amount of books that you can bid. There's the wild cards. You can change, which cards are wild, the deuces, if they're wild or not, the score, and you can change the sound effects, turn them on or off. The other thing is the kitty. The way the kitty works is every player is dealt 12 cards instead of 13. So in this game, all of the cards are used, including the deuce of clubs and the deuce of hearts, for a total of 54 cards. So with every player getting 12 cards, that's 48 cards. 6 cards are actually dealt into what's called the kitty. So you basically just take 6 cards out. And whichever player is dealt the deuce of spades, you actually get the kitty. So you have to show that you got the deuce of spades. So let's say Dora got it. Dora would turn over the deuce of spades and she would take the kitty. Now what she does with the kitty is she simply looks at it and she sees what's in it. There's some really good cards in this kitty, a lot of spades in here. And she basically gets rid of 6 cards from her hand so that she has a total of 12 cards left. Once she does that, she takes the cards that she got rid of, she puts them to the side, and that's a book for her team. Even before the game starts, that's a book for them. So you're at a serious advantage if you win the kitty. And jSpades works the same way. If you play with the kitty, in this case I won the kitty, and it tells you that you won the kitty. If you want to get rid of some cards, you simply drag them to your play area, and that's how you get rid of cards. So you get rid of 6, and I'm just getting rid of cards at random here. I'm not really doing it for any rhyme or reason. And now I have my hand. I'm ready to play. You can see that even before the game started, my team already got 1 book. And as you can see, when you get the kitty, you normally get a pretty good hand, unless there's a lot of bad cards in the kitty. I'm just going to go show you the 3-man game real quick. 3-man Spades is a game, again, like the kitty. It's played with every card, even the deuce of clubs and the deuce of hearts, but it's every man for himself. And you get 18 books, so it's 54 cards divided amongst the 3 players. That's 18 books, 18 cards apiece, so there's 18 total books to be won. 4-man solo is a game I've never actually played before, but I figured it would be a fun game to play on your device. It's like the team game, it's just every man for himself, so you don't have a partner. And then lastly, there is the 2-man game. So the 2-man game would be easiest to explain by just showing you how it's played in real life. Basically, the way it works is you start with a shuffle deck. The first person picks up a card. If this is a card they want, they keep, and then you must get rid of the second card without looking at it. If you don't like the first card, so let's say my opponent here is a screenhead guy, he's going to look at this card. If he does not like it, he can get rid of it, but then he must take the next card. And you just keep going like that. So I'll pick up this card. This is a 6 of clubs. I don't want it. I throw it away, but I have to take the next card. So I have a friend here. He sees the first card. He likes it. He keeps it, but he has to get rid of the next card. This game works the same way. It's just you don't see the other cards. You only see the one card because it's the only one you need to see. So basically, you accept or reject the cards. This is 4 cards. I'm going to reject it. By clicking reject, I'll keep the 4 of spades, and you basically just do this until you're done with your hand. And then so you have your hand, and you're ready to play. So thank you for watching this tutorial. Hopefully it helps you understand this game a little bit better, and you know, keep playing, and eventually you'll get better overall. Thanks.